Aaron, getting the chance to come in here and shut the door, pitch those last 2 innings. Can you kind of take us through your performance and how you thought you threw tonight?
I mean, it was just great all-around performance. I thank my coaches, Coach Sean Allen, Coach Pierce, for getting me right. I mean, I came in here first semester, hamstring injury. Coach Pierce and Sean Allen got me right, and I just really appreciate everybody who helped me get here this year. I mean, it was great.
So, having a hamstring injury, how did you kind of battle back from that and get to a point where you're throwing 2 innings against the number 12 team in the country?
I mean, it was just the first outing here. I tore my hamstring, and Tom Mendez, our trainer, and Coach Pierce and Coach Allen really stood beside me and guided me back and just got me ready for the season. And I just really appreciate them for doing that. It was just, a long time coming.
Did you think you'd be able to, come back in time to pitch this season?
Oh, definitely. I came back for them in the fall. They worked me in there, and then this spring, I felt really good and had a great catcher tonight and great catcher always inside. I mean, great hitting, just great all-around game tonight.
Dustin, go ahead.
Aaron, big situation in the 8th and 9th inning against an undefeated, top-ranked team. It didn't look like you were too bothered at all by the environment. I mean, what were your emotions as you were out there on the mound, and first off in a tight game, and then when you came back out with the lead?
I mean, I came in there pretty amped, and I just thought to myself, got to get my slider down and paint it away, and everything will work out. So that's all I thought the whole night.
It seems like you're a guy that's not afraid to show a little bit of emotion as well. It might have been maybe a strut or two off the mound and coming off the 8th inning. Where does that sort of competitiveness and that makeup come from?
I mean, my whole life I've been pretty competitive, but those inter-squad games, nothing can match that Longhorn on Longhorn. So those really got me ready for these situations. Great Fall World Series. So I was ready to get out here.
Joe, go ahead.
Aaron, did you say you tore your hamstring, or what was the injury specifically?
I think I had a second degree strain, but yes, sir.
And then, coming in as a freshman, did you expect to be able to or did you expect to have like this late inning role, or do you think that maybe that injury, what type of role did you expect coming into the season?
I was just ready for whatever they needed me as. I'm just ready for everything. I just want to pitch for this team and help the team win.
Dustin, did you have one more, or was that hand still up? All right, well, that's it. Aaron, appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, great Friday night ball game for sure. It was really exciting just to hear the crowd. 50% sounded awesome compared to what we've been playing in, the conditions we've been in, fall, spring, early spring, but great ball game. I thought offensively we kind of left a run or two out there early, but I just liked the way we just continued to play. We stayed aggressive. Defense was outstanding. Trey made just a couple of wonderful plays. Much tougher to his right than the one that he made look pretty easy. He made 3 great plays. And then just solid pitching with Ty and Cy. And Aaron Nixon was definitely the pitcher of the night. The thing with Ty tonight is that he really didn't have command or feel for a slider, and he was basically pitching off of one pitch. So just tells you what kind of competitor he is. He didn't have his best, but he gave a 7.
Joe, go ahead.
Coach, you mentioned it, the crowd, you heard it. I definitely noticed it too. And it's obviously a lot bigger now with the big team here this weekend. Did you feel like your team was able to, I know it's a home crowd, but handle the atmosphere and maybe the newness of the atmosphere better than South Carolina did?
We just had a great 8th inning. I thought it was a great ball game. BK laced a triple, and it's really odd on that play because I had some type of epiphany. I was looking at the right fielder, and I literally said to myself, EK is going to hit a ball down the right field line. I was looking at the right fielder. He's going to hit a ball down the right field line, and I'm going to make a decision right now of whether I'm going to send him or not. And the way the ball came, where he was playing, you always question that the first out in the inning at third, but that's Eric Kennedy running too. So, but it was just kind of a weird deal, a great start, and then we just fed off of it.
Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, David, you mentioned defense a minute ago, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. I mean, people can look at this and determine whatever they want for the win, but I mean, the way you guys played defense tonight, whether you mentioned the play Trey made, but the play Silas made backing up first base, I mean, do you feel like this defense is at a point right now where it can't just be there? I mean, it can actually win you ball games?
No doubt. I mean, we harp it. Our pitching and defense has to be a constant, and if it is, it gives us an opportunity. And it's a great lesson tonight. I mean, we pitched and played defense in a 1-1 game, and then when we were opportunistic, we win the game in the 8th inning and shut them down. So, don't overlook either. I mean, the first fly ball to Douglas in the first inning, wasn't that simple, and the line drive to Eric with the lights, with the overspin right at him. That's a tough play. And those two guys, we take them for granted, but those are outstanding plays as well.
Dustin, go ahead.
David, Aaron hasn't been in many situations, period, as a pitcher at Texas, but he looks totally at home and comfortable in this environment, in that situation. When did you guys know that from a mental makeup side of things that you had somebody that could handle that type of leverage role as a freshman?
Well, I mean, we recruited him very early, and as a freshman coming in, we recruited him as a freshman in high school, and the coaches told me it was kind of starting that trend of recruiting so early. And basically we just said, I just didn't feel comfortable recruiting a freshman. I said, we'll go ahead and bring him in because he's going to commit somewhere. We bring him in, and he's one of the most mature kids I ever talked to as a freshman on campus. And kind of knew he had a little bit of that it factor. Watched him pitch at Wrigley Field when he was 16 years old and dominated just like that for 3 innings. So he's been in those big environments, and he likes it. He really thrives from it. But I think the lesson he learned at Houston was critical. Just knowing that he's got good stuff, he's got a plus slider, but he's pitching against veteran hitters. And he told you just a while ago that my goal was just to keep my slider down, and he committed to it. And I think that's the ability of pitching to the next pitch, just pitching to the next pitch. And he did a great job. But I mean, it's kind of been in his DNA since we started recruiting him. So I'm glad he's on our team.
And Danny, go ahead.
So, David, could you take us a little bit through the timeline of Aaron's injury? Was that during the fall he suffered the hamstring strain, or did he come to campus with that, or could you take us through that timeline?
It was during the fall. I mean, probably within a week, and he was out most of the fall. And we had to nurse it. It's one of those injuries that, it's frustrating. Can't do much about it, but you have to just rest. And yeah, it was during the fall.
Did you think you'd have him back by the spring, or?
Oh yeah. We felt really comfortable coming into the spring, and he's wound pretty tight, so you're always concerned about that. But he also does a great job in his work outside of throwing. He does a lot of stretching. He's kind of a field rat.
And last one to Joe.
With the running game, do you just feel like over these past few games that you're just running into teams making plays, and it's just a thing where you have to keep going at it and hope that they don't make as many plays as they have been?
No, they're pretty good at defending it. A lot of times it's situational. You're banking on a breaking ball, trying to get the guy in scoring position with 2 outs. The situation with Doug, I thought he had a poor slide where he just bent his leg. We call it a 90-foot slide. I think he might have an opportunity to be safe on that one if he gets extension with his lead leg. But, 2 strikes on Eric gives Eric an opportunity to lead off the next inning. So it's worth taking the gamble at times. And I
All right,
thought they
thank
did a great job defending it. All right.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
All right, we're going to start out with some questions. Joe, go ahead.
I don't have one.
Dustin, go ahead.
Zach, take us through that critical at bat late in the game. I think you were ahead in the count 2-0. What were you kind of looking for? And it looked like you kind of simplified some things and just wanted to put the ball and play hard.
Yeah, I mean, my whole goal was just to get the job done. I mean, and at all costs. And I got a good pitch to hit, and that was really it. I mean, just trying to slow the game down, trying to breathe, and just trying to relax. I mean, it's a big pressure situation. The dish was popping tonight, so it was just a time where you just gotta relax and just trust your work. And I'm glad I came through, and that's just how it went.
And what was going through your head as Mitchell ranges over from the shift to field that ball? He skips it to you, it gets by you. You probably turn around, you see Silas right there. What are you thinking at that point?
I mean, that's a hell of a play by Mitch. I got to pick him up right there. So that's first off. And then secondly, Cy does a great job doing his job backing up the play. And, I saw, I think it was Clark round of the base, and I just said, Cy here, and then just try to throw a tag down as quick as possible because I knew he didn't get that far off. But, if you look at the play itself, it's a great play all the way around, people doing their jobs. I got to pick Mitch up, but other than that, it's a great job by everyone doing just what they need to do.
Jeff, go ahead.
Zach, kind of piggybacking on that, defensively, the way you guys played tonight, I mean, can you guys bottle that, carry it forward, and can defense be a part of the game that wins you guys games going forward?
Oh, yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, we take pride in our defense every single day. I mean, Eric makes a great play in left. Trey made 2 unbelievable Sports Center plays today at short. And, I mean, that's just something that we take a lot of pride in his defense. And, it's just something that I feel like we make the routines look really easy, and then the superstar plays come out every once in a while. And, we made them today. And that's just something that was it's fun to watch. We got a lot of talented guys out there. It was just fun to watch them play.
Danny, go ahead.
Zach, obviously this is a long season, but does this one say anything more about your team, obviously because of the stage and who this opponent is?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a great game to build off of. It gives people confidence. It gives people the thought that you can hang with these Power 5 schools left and right. And I think that's something that it's a credit to our toughness. It's a credit to our mentality. That we got popped early, like I said yesterday, and then we came back and we've been fairly resilient, I would say. And it's been really, really fun to watch that turnaround happen.
And in that 8th inning, were you surprised they pitched you with first base open? And when you got that chance, what was kind of going through your mind?
I wasn't honestly too surprised. I mean, Silas, his numbers don't pop off the page, but he's been hitting the ball really, really well. And he's just hit the ball right to some people, and he's done a really good job. And so, it's either pitch to me or pitch to Cy. And I wasn't too shocked because Silas, like I said, has been on a tear. Just the ball hasn't fallen yet, and it will. So I wasn't that surprised.
Do you guys have to pick up Cy at all, or does he? Obviously, his baseball's in his blood. Does he realize that eventually those are going to start falling?
Baseball's in his blood. He does his job every single day. He comes to work every single day, and he's just a grinder, and someone that you just see working every single day, regardless of the outcome the day before. And it's just something that he knows it's going to fall, and he knows it's going to happen. So as long as he keeps that mentality, he's going to be great for us.
And one more to Dustin.
Zach, you mentioned the energy of the dish tonight. It's been a long time since you guys have had anything like that. I know it's not full capacity, but with more fans in here, how much fun was that to be in again? You mentioned earlier this week you didn't know if you were going to play at Texas when the season ended. Just what was kind of did this home crowd, you think, help you guys a little bit tonight, just being in that atmosphere again?
Oh, 100%. They were you could tell that they were they were loud. I mean, Eric hits that triple in the 8th, and the stadium erupted. And I mean, that's something that I haven't heard in a while, just because I mean we've had limited capacity at everywhere you go, and the stadium erupted. And it was just really nice to see the Longhorn Nation back in the stands. You know, for us, that's huge. That's a huge benefit whenever we go into Big 12 play. I mean, every single game that we play, the more people in the stands, the louder it gets, the more fun it is for us. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy, like you said, full year round circle, and here we are again listening to fans in the stands. So awesome to see.